Hey, Pastor Steve Waldron, I hope you're having a great day in Jesus. You know, I'm a young earth creationist, so we're going to look today at the problem of functionality with Darwinian evolution or evolutionary theory. And what I mean by that, the problem of functionality, you know, everything we look at today is fully formed and fully filled. And basically everything we see in the fossil record is fully formed, fully filled. And what I mean by that, you know, a tree is not currently evolving. It is a tree, and it has the abilities to reproduce itself. Human beings are not in states of evolution. You know, orangutans are not, tortoises are not, bees are not. Everything is just functioning in a symbiotic relationship, which is a tremendous proof for instantaneous creation, you know, that it takes, you know, men to breathe out CO2, trees to breathe in CO2, breathe out oxygen, us to breathe in oxygen, bees, flowers, simultaneous, basically creation, because, you know, flowers can't live without bees, bees can't live without flowers, on and so forth. And that's just all over. And not just in that broad sense, but in a sense that our, you know, our stomach has to work in concert with our other parts of the body, whether it's the breakdown for vitamins, nutrition, blood, carrying it all over the place, white blood cells, red blood cells, bones creating blood, marrow, you know, all of these kind of things work together in us. And so the problem of functionality you run into is, first of all, the total basic lack of of transitional fossils. You can go to Wikipedia and see a list of transitional fossils, still drop in the bucket, because first of all, you can dispute all of those. Secondly, drop in the bucket of all the transitional fossils you would expect to find, because regardless of your theory of evolution, because different theories of evolution have different who came from what, you know, but you have the problem of functionality. Before something became, from whatever it was that antedated the whale to become the whale, how did it live and how did it survive? All of the different mutations and gradual gradations to get to a whale. And it's not just the whale, it's every species, us, everything. How did we get from, you know, bacteria or protoplasm to human beings with thinking and information technology that science says has to come from an exterior force? You know, your computers, your AI, everything had to be imputed to them. They didn't spontaneously arise with information. But not just that, functionality, hips, you know, hips only work if they're fully formed. And in conjunction with your ligaments and the other bones in your body and all of this. So what's the processes of functionality from point A to point B? I'll try to illustrate this in a very poor way. My brother is an amazing artist, like professional, and I'm not. He's also a professional writer. So you have point A, something starts off, and it's eventually getting to what it is today. But you have literally millions, according to evolutionary theory, unless you believe in punctuated equilibrium by Stephen Jay Gould, who believed it at some point, and others, that how did something survive when it was less than optimum? How did the humans without a fully formed hip, did we just crawl around? Did we? And this is a much bigger problem for evolution than evolution would like to admit. And so here is the basic answers that I constantly get on the dozens of videos on creation on this channel. First of all scientists believe this. You're an idiot. Shut up. You're fat, so shut up. You'd be surprised at how often that is an argument on this channel. That you're saying all scientists are stupid. Shut up. we are currently, evolution is being used to promote human life, whether it's agriculture and other things throughout the world. So shut up. The basic thing is shut up. You need to be deplatformed for putting out false information. And, so that's the overriding thing. And so if you're not allowed to ask questions, if you're not allowed to have the basics of humanity that everybody is given by their Creator, certain unalienable rights, among these life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, the right to have your own thoughts, as long as they're not harming other people, the right to question things, as long as it's not harming other people. But you'll notice that that's how the game is played, is eventually when you begin questioning things, you're harming other people because you're saying evolution is not right, and evolution is being used to, in evolutionary biology to help people with their, different illnesses, and it's being used in agriculture to feed people. So you're really, by believing the Bible, believing in young earth creationism, you're slaughtering all of humanity, and so we should just kill you instead. I mean, it's just like, what? I thought we were just having a discussion here. But it's like that way on anything, any subject that certain groups and segments of the population that usually are coming from a non-biblical viewpoint, they are just as vehement as certain parts of the so-called Christian religion, but really the system was very false, was burning people at the stake at the auto da fe. It's got, the index of forbidden books. You're not allowed to read, you're not allowed to think, you have to be in lockstep, and not knowing, and so since there's so much information hidden from people, these poor college students that I hear from constantly have no clue of the different, the different textbooks that have been changed, Fukuyama, and all these, that Jonathan Wells points out in his Icons of Evolution. He has two legitimate PhDs, Yale, University of Chicago, UCal, Berkeley, some of the colleges he went to, two legit PhDs that he just meticulously points out that, that these are incorrect. So the problem of functionality is a question that Darwinian evolution really has to answer. And really all Darwinian evolution is, all it is, really, at the end of the day, is it is a belief system. As Geisler says, he doesn't have enough faith to be an atheist. It is a belief system that you can have a worldview, a Weltanschauung, a look at the world in creations and origins, and not have to bring a God into it. And so it palliates the mind, alleviates the mind, and says there is no eternity, and scientific materialism is all there is. But it doesn't match up with the facts, and it doesn't answer just very basic questions of observation, again, symbiosis, bees and flowers, the symbiosis within our bodies, that's known as syntropy, and of every living thing. And then the problem of functionality, of making it from whatever you were, protoplasm, whatever you want to say, how did it survive in imperfect states? And why don't we see these imperfect states overwhelmingly in the fossil record, when what we see overwhelmingly in the fossil record are things that are fully functioning, fully formed, fully filled, as it's called. So questions, I love every one of you. I want to encourage you, just pray, seek the Lord. Even if you're an unbeliever, I mean, you could be like a David Berlinski, he's an agnostic, and he's still, in a sense, a creationist. He sees enough flaws in evolution to say that can't be true. And there are many people like that. I know there was a Yale professor that just said, look, evolution is just full of holes. Who was that? Is it Wilson? I can't remember his name. I did a review on the book that came out with a book against Darwin and just said, look at the issues. And so you really don't even have to be a creationist to see this, that it's got serious, serious problems. I know when I check on Social Blade, our New Life statistics sometimes, one of the people it brings up is a young lady that says, I'm a pro-life atheist. So, I mean, you don't necessarily have to be a Christian or a creationist to see the massive issues. Ask your professors. And, you know, there's the fear of public ridicule and all this. But don't be afraid to question the narrative and to ask questions. This is part of who we are as human beings. So we just want truth. We want to find the truth. Buy the truth, sell it not. Proverbs 23:23. God bless. I love you. Talk with you later in Jesus.